So week 8 going into week 9 in 2 days of my Achilles tendon rupture story. My name is Sarah Jane Walls. I'm the clinical director here at the Rehab Hub and MSK podiatrist. I ruptured my Achilles tendon nearly 9 weeks ago now, and this has been my kind of story and rehab and journey throughout this. So I wanted to share with you what I've been doing, and hopefully if maybe you're interested in this injury, maybe you're a physio podiatrist and interested in learning a little bit more about this injury, or maybe you've damaged your own Achilles, maybe this is you going through this rehab. So hopefully it gives you information, inspiration, whatever it is you're needing. So I've got 2 cameras here set up, obviously one in the face-to-face one, and then also the foot one. So what I'm going to show you initially here is, let me just remove this, is my journey and where I'm at just now. So here we go. So I am, I'll be 9 weeks in 2 days since I ruptured my right Achilles tendon. So the tendon, the largest tendon in your body. And you can see I am fully weight bearing. I am beyond the parallel, and I used the Vacoped boot to help me get here. I can fully balance. I've been working on my, so I'll talk about my rehab that I've been doing, going through this, and what I'm currently doing. So I'm not fully out my boot, so I am gradually bringing myself out the boot. So the key with tendons is that we protect them and we optimally load them, and optimally loading really is what the Vacoped boot does. So I can't recommend the Vacoped boot enough. If you watch my previous video, I go through the Vacoped boot in detail in that one. Now, what that's allowed me to do is to be loading this tendon in a protected way all the way through my recovery. And I think that you can see from yourself here, some of the results are really, it really is amazing. So where I'm at, what I'm working on, I've been working on seated calf raises. So I'll show you what that looks like in terms of, it really looks like nothing. So essentially seated, put myself into the camera, and back, you can see me there. So it's this one here that I ruptured. So what I started with, feet flat, and I literally just started doing, so you can see here, it's that right leg, I literally just started doing a seated calf raise. Now that's far too easy for me now. I also, within that, just increasing the range. So as I got my Vacoped boot down to the parallel, so the 0 degrees, and then when I then went down to 10 degrees past 0, so minus 10 degrees, so that I'm going into that loaded tibia translation over the ankle joint. So essentially this sort of position, you can see where the shin is actually over, and I'm in that loaded dorsiflex position there. So if I show you on my uninjured side where I can go in further, you can see what I'm talking about. The shin goes over the top of, so it goes forwards, the knee goes forwards, and the actual tibia bone here is over the top of the ankle. So you can see you've got this crease at the ankle joint, and you've got that loaded closed chain ankle joint dorsiflexion. So I'm not quite anywhere near the range that I have on my left side as I am on my right, but that's kind of where I'm at the moment at week 8 going into 9. So the key here really is slow and steady wins the race. The absolute game changer for me here, and I have to be honest, I've been using laser, medical grade 4 laser therapy and magnetotherapy, and I've been using shockwave therapy around the associated structures, so soft tissue work. So I started with just very, very gentle range of motion. So I've been doing essentially just inversion and eversion of the ankle. I've been doing that all the way through my rehab. So basically just getting the ankle joint going, and lots of plantar flexion and keeping it in neutral. So up to about week 6, 7, this is really all I was doing, with a little bit of inversion and eversion. Over the last few weeks, what I've been doing is I've been starting to come into, so you can see here, I'm actually starting to plantar flex and dorsiflex. And that's only because when I got to 0 degrees, and I'd been there for a week on my Vacoped boot, that's when I started to incorporate a little bit more mobility work into that dorsiflex position. Now, this was banned, if you remember from other videos, this movement. So I started here. I then started round about week 7. I started seated calf raises. Now, it looks like nothing, but honestly, when you have ruptured your Achilles, if you have done that, you will appreciate how amazing it is. I then started to load onto the thigh, so you could use little weights and even, some boot, something heavy onto your thigh, and then you're increasing the resistance. So you're going up slowly and controlling it down, because remember that movement down is pretty important. So it's just as much as important as the pushing up, the controlling that movement down. So as you're lengthening and loading through that tendon is pretty important as well. So it's that eccentric loading of the tendon. So that's where I've been, and I have recently just started to get myself standing up. So bearing in mind I'm at week 8 going into week 9, where what I'm doing, so this is my good leg, so this leg closest to the camera is the good one, and this leg here is my ruptured one, or was ruptured, so it's the injured one. So what I do is I go up and I'm trying as hard as I can to keep my weight evenly distributed, and I've got my hands, I'm holding on to a unit here, I'm not doing this without balance and stability. I then from there go up, and I'm trying to push off my right foot as well. It's not doing as much as my left. And then I shift my body weight a little bit more over to the right side. So I'm trying to load my right tendon, and then I slowly lower myself down. So my left side really is when I'm doing that. If I show you from this angle, my left side is doing the majority of the work, but I'm just slowly starting to get that closed chain, that weight bearing, plantar flex, calf raise, because until I can do that, I'm not going to be able to toe off and actually push off and actually walk like a normal person. What I see in clinic from a lot of patients that have ruptured their Achilles, their gait is a disaster. What they end up doing is they end up avoiding the loaded dorsiflexion, this moment here, so that point where your kind of heel comes off, and what they end up walking like is this. Right, they end up walking with, they kind of swing the leg like this. This is where patients go. So they start kind of walking like that. And you really need to seek help if you're doing that. Stop it. You want to be going and booking in with a good physio or MSK podiatrist that can help you with some gait retraining with that and get your rehab sorted. So what I really have been doing with my gait retraining, now I'm generally not barefoot. So I generally don't walk barefoot. I've usually got my trainers on, or when I'm in work, if I've got a big long day, I'm still putting my boot on when I've got a big long day in work. Or these shoes here, they've got a deep heel cut, they've got a heel raise, and actually they work really well for me. They might not work for you, but essentially what I've been working on is getting that heel toe. So it's this side that's injured. So as I'm here, I've been really trying, and I'm sure you can see from that. So if I turn the camera and I actually do a few steps, you can actually see how decent my gait is. Okay, so you can see I've really been practicing getting, and I'm hardly limping now, getting that heel toe action and actually getting the heel off. So you can see I'm able to walk. Okay, it's still not perfect, right? But I am 8 going into 9 weeks after a complete Achilles tendon rupture. So honestly, I cannot stress the part that the Vacoped boot has played in this recovery. So I've just started introducing the calf raises standing. And it's literally going up with both, trying to get, you can see my left side is doing most of the work here, then leaning over to the right, and then slowly going down. And I'm just doing as many until I feel like I can't do any more. Okay, and I really do feel like even just over it, it's amazing how quickly this starts to become, you start to get there. Then proprioceptive feedback, so balance, so it's this leg, so always making sure I'm safe and literally eyes open. I'm not holding anything here, but I'm next to something if I need it, and I'm just balancing. Okay, And I'm trying to get to about 30 seconds if I can get there. And that's really, really hard. Right? You can see, so here's my good leg. I could do that all day. Right? No bother. Like, really, I could be here all day. This one, so okay, I've got so much work to do here. But you can see, oh, it's hard, right? But you can see all the wee muscles. That this is where the battles are won, and all those little intrinsic muscles, that feedback, that balance. Remember, your feet really, really are important for balance. So there you go. This is where I am at. I'm in work just now. I've just worked. What, 4 hours, and I decided today I was going to leave my boot at home. That's the first time I've ever done that. I'm back driving. I was back driving last week, so I was 8 weeks no driving. Brutal. So it's liberating. I have to say it's liberating, being able to drive, being able to just use my foot again. It is so, I've got to be so careful with this. So I am now weaning myself off the boot gradually. I will continue to do that for another 3 weeks. I will use my boots. I'm going out later tonight. I'm going to take my older girls to go get new shoes. I will have my boot on in that shopping mall. I will not be walking about with my boot off. So I've got to protect it, because the chance of re-rupture at this stage is high. So I could just do something really silly, trip over, overdo it, and then I'm back to square one. And that might mean a surgical route. And I certainly don't want to be down that route. So I'm very, very, very aware that this is the danger zone here, because you start to feel a bit better and you think, oh, brilliant, I can just go on with things. And then, yeah, you do something daft and you're back to square one. So gradually weaning myself off the Vacoped boot. So as I said, I'm just heading 2 days' time. I'll be at 9 weeks, and I'm still using that Vacoped boot. So I'm back at the gym now as well. I'm back doing my Pilates. I just have to adapt things. I can't go into that really deep loaded dorsiflex position with certain things. So I've just got to adapt. That's how it is. And I'll continue to do that. This whole recovery, it's going to be about a year, like fully, before this is fully feeling normal, if it ever will feel normal. And then possibly we'll see, so I, as an MSK podiatrist, I'm able to do different injections. We'll see how my tendons are doing. In this process, my left Achilles has been grumbling at me. So something that I might do, we'll see, is I might pop in a little tendon injection in. This is Austenal tendon. So it's just like it just coats the tendon sheath and essentially stops that kind of rubbing and irritation and low level inflammation. So that's possibly on the cards for me going forwards. I'll see how it is. It's actually my opposite side that I ruptured that's now annoying me, because obviously I've been putting more pressure on that. You can see I'm out of the level up and everything. It really does. This feels great. But I can't stress enough, if this is you and you've ruptured your Achilles and you're at this stage, please caution. You still need to protect this tendon, and you have to optimally load it. The key with tendons, protection, optimally loading, and the Vacoped boot is phenomenal for that. And I swear, I put most of my recovery, yes, I've been doing laser, yes, I've been doing magnetotherapy, yes, I've had shockwave around associated structures, yes, I've extensively rehabbed it, I've used the reformer, I've used all my knowledge, all the tools at my disposal, that I can honestly say, hand on heart, the biggest thing with this has been in that boot, protection and optimally loading. I can't stress enough, because as I've been in that boot, I'm protecting that tendon, but at the same time, because I'm reducing down the degrees as I go down, as my tendon starts to heal, I'm optimally loading it in the boots. I'm rehabbing it all the time in that boot, and it really is a game changer. I can't stress enough, if you've done this injury, that you look at the Vacoped boot. I'll put the links and stuff under this video, depending where you're watching. It's about 300 quid for all the bits that you need. I don't think there's anything that I I would never regret buying it. It's honestly the money well spent. Even though you're only using it maximum 12 weeks, it's the best money I've spent on anything for my health. So I can't recommend it enough. I'm seeing a patient, just to give you a little bit of context here, who has been referred over because she has ruptured her Achilles. She did it last year. I don't know where she went, but she was misdiagnosed with a tendinopathy. And she'd seen a surgeon recently because various things, seeing her GP, and ended up in front of a surgeon, and they basically confirmed it had been ruptured. And obviously, at this point, a year later, surgery is her only route. She didn't realise it was ruptured. I don't know what's happened with that, but she's not realised it's ruptured. Anyway, she's been walking about with it. I think she said she used a boot for 2 weeks, I think, from the referral that's come in, and that was it. So don't be that. Make sure that you follow those protocols. So there won't be much I'll be able to do for her apart from confirm what the surgeon's probably already told her, but we'll just, sometimes you just need that second opinion, and we'll do some tests, make sure that she's happy with that. And then if she wants to have that joined back up, the surgeon's willing and is able to join the tendon back up, then surgery and her rehab would then start from there. And it would be a similar situation, so whether you've had the surgical route or not, the Vacoped boot can still be used. The difficulty you've got is that you're dealing with a wound when you've had surgery, so you will probably be seeing a healthcare practitioner to dress your wounds on a weekly basis. So you just need to be mindful for that. Usually, that depends on each individual, but usually a few weeks anyway, 3-4 weeks maybe, until that's healed. But apart from that, if it was my tendon and the condition that I'm in just now, I would have the surgery if that's what the only option that I had. But thankfully, I knew immediately when I did this, I knew what I'd done. I knew with the nature of my job, I knew exactly what it meant. I knew exactly the position I had to get it in. I knew exactly how I was going to have to manage this. And I wasn't aware of the Vacoped boot at the time. Spoke to some colleagues, got some advice there, and it really was a no-brainer. Got that, and the Vacoped boot will be something that I'll always recommend to my patients to have. So that's us. I am there. I think the next video we'll maybe do around about 12 weeks, show you the difference there. But I couldn't be any more delighted with how this is feeling, and the recovery, and my progress. I really I've been in work today. I've done and I did a Pilates session with somebody. I did a knee injection this morning. We did a few other bits and bobs, and it's not even something that's holding me back anymore. So if this is you, and maybe you've just done this injury and you're in a dark place, because I get it. There is light. You just have to be patient with this. It just takes time, and it's that optimally loading and protecting that tendon. Can't stress it enough. That's the key. Optimally load it and protect it. I can honestly say I've had my left hip replaced. I had that done actually 2 years ago this month, and the recovery for this tendon has been more frustrating than what my recovery was for the hip. The recovery, the first week was grim after that surgery, but after that it was fine, and I was able to, when you're walking within hours of a hip replacement, and I was able to drive within a couple of weeks. It was really no bother. And the rehab actually was fine as well. This has been one of the most frustrating injuries ever. You're just going to have to be patient. You have to do it. Don't rush it. You can't rush it. You've got to protect it, optimally load it, and take your time. And that's it. But just know, if you follow that, it should be fine. But just know that, yeah, it's frustrating, and it just takes time. Yeah, and if you do your right one like me, you can't drive. If you do your left one, you've got an automatic car, then as long as you let your insurance company know, you should be fine to drive. But yeah, I was basically 2 months without driving and stuff as well. Terribly, really expensive, having to get Ubers everywhere to get into work, do stuff. Honestly, it really has been one of the most frustrating and humbling things that I've done, even more so than my hip. So, and that's saying something. So hopefully you don't ever get this injury if you're a physio, podiatrist, and if you're in the Glasgow area and you're looking for, maybe you're wanting to learn, or you want to ask any questions, or you want to come in and maybe to shadow our clinic, we're always welcome to do that. And if you're a patient in the Glasgow area and this is something that you've done, or please share this. Please don't let them be this person that's maybe not getting managed as well as they could, or maybe they've had a misdiagnosis, or hopefully not, they've not had a misdiagnosis. Just please, share the video, and I'm happy to help. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in a few weeks. Hopefully I'll be able to do a full calf raising.